Okay, welcome to our Track Record YouTube channel. Today we're going to take a look at a spin that happened to a driver that we were working with. And with this video, we can take a look in real time through the whole thing as it happened and unfolded. Then we're going to rewind it and take a step-by-step look at what went wrong, what we would want to change in the future, how things like this happen, how you can work on your own car control skills to improve what you're doing on track. This is as we head through turn 1 here at Apex. This is in an MX-5 Cup car. Down through turn 2, everything's looking good. And right about here, this whole thing happened. So we're going to rewind it all the way back to where we were coming through down into turn 2 right here. Down into turn 3. So right here, this cone is a good indicator as where you want to turn in for this corner. As you can see right now, the front end, the nose of the car starts slowly fading to the right. So the first thing is there's a fairly early turn in here. So obviously you want to be turning in a little later, but when you turn in early, you know that you've already got some issues potentially coming your way on the exit of the corner. So this is a little bit of an early turn in. It's not the major contributing factors to what went wrong here, but it certainly had a small hand in it. Right here, there's a lot of curb use, a lot more that I'd want to be using. So anytime I'm up on curbs, right about here where the gradient is where we're looking at being, but as you can tell from the angle here and the hop on the car as the dash moves around on the horizon, that the right sides are way up high here, way too high, and that the right side tires are probably almost dropping off into the dirt there. So a little bit too aggressive of a use of curbing. Anytime you're on a faster corner like that, you really got to be careful as to how you're using curbs. Some racetracks have nice flat curbs. These have a little bit of a gradient to it, and it can really unbalance and unsettle a car. So as we play the video here, you're going to hear a lot of hopping and jumping. You'll even hear the engine note as the car loads and unloads and loads and unloads. Right here, there's a lot of throttle going on at the same time, and at some point you'll see that there's full throttle at the apex while this car is jumping around on the curbs here. So let's kind of rewind it just a little bit and you'll hear what I'm talking about. So at the second jump, there was full throttle right there as the car started hopping and weaving. It's balanced, unbalanced, it's balanced, it's unbalanced, so there's weight transferring back and forth, a lot of throttle input, and at this point there's the onset of oversteer. So as you look at this steering wheel right here, at the Mazda logo is perfectly on top of the steering wheel, right? So this driver's hands are perfect. They're at 9 and 3, Mazda logo on top, the red stripe on the bottom, you know the car's in a straight direction. Here comes the hop, skip, and jump. So now this driver's turned in. Everything's looking good, but we know that when a car is sliding and sideways, it's a 3-step process. There's the correct, there's the pause, and the recover. So at this point, the correct is good, but I'm watching as the car straightens itself back up. That Mazda logo is leaned a little bit over to the left still. So as soon as that car hits the pause recover stage, the wheel's slightly over to the left, which violently shoots you off to the left. That's a simple and fairly common, pendulum effect, or the tank slapper, as you will. Just going to go off to the left here. Pretty quick. At this point, the driver lets go of the wheel, tries to recover. Now we're facing the wall, and at this point, there's not too much we can do other than just ride it out. So again, just to go back to one of the more important parts of this situation here. The car starts sliding, watch the logo, here comes the correct. As soon as the car recovers, right about here, the wheel is now pointed off to the left at least about 10-15 degrees, and that's what helps spin this car back off to the left right here. And then there's a 180 up along the tire wall. So just for the record, this driver's perfectly fine. They just knocked the mirror off. There's just a little bit of damage, but it could have been avoided with a handful of things. So you got to watch the early turnings. You got to watch where you lift, or how much curbing you're using, or how much throttle you're using, and then your hand position and your recovery, your correct pause recover. All of that is so very, very important. But what we like to do here is also look for outs. If you're in this situation and you're not feeling 100% confident with your car control skills or your hand speed, one simple thing you could have done is just look to the right, because as we know, your hands are always going to go the direction that your eyes are going. So if you look to the right, there's several acres of dirt over here. You could have just as easily spun the car off to the right, 2 feet in, clutch and brake, you ride it out, take a minute, look around, check the corner worker, make sure you're good to go, put it in gear, and you're off and running. This one right here was just too many things that went on at the same time, and it led to this. So hope this short video helps. Thanks again for following along. We appreciate it.